Before IELTS exam, you have to improve listening skills. Now I will discuss how you can increase your listening skills. This secret shortcut and method will help you to develop listening skill fast. Please be careful to use this method below. You may call it a shortcut, but you will never know how useful it is unless you have a try and stick to it. This method is also suitable for learning other languages too. Okay, first of all, let me talk about the theory of this method. There is a question. What factors are important for listening? There are 2 factors. 1. To catch the oral signals, lack of listening practice. You need to be familiar with those signals, even though you don't know the meanings. Imagine when you are a child, you listen to adults' dialogue but do not know what they are talking about. Please pay attention, being familiar with is essential. The most familiar level is that you can say or make those sounds, so you'd better mimic the sounds at first. 2. You know what the signal stands for, with low listening vocabulary, that is to say you know the meaning. Learning vocabulary is of great importance. Vocabulary can be classified into 4 parts: listening, reading, speaking and writing. Listening vocabulary is usually very few for a second language learner, not as much as reading vocabulary. So, what's the method? Dictation. Why? Reason 1. Dictation will help you to be familiar with words, phrases and sentences in both oral and meaning aspects. In other words, you can effectively expand your listening vocabulary through dictation. Reason 2. Dictation will improve your vocabulary and grammar knowledge, which is also benefit to your other 3 parts. In addition, you will find that fewer misspell will occur. Reason 3. It will urge you to learning English. Dictation will help you easily to concentrate on learning. How to do it? 1. Listen to a sentence with your device and then you write down what you've just heard. 2. Check the passage and correct it. Please analyze the reasons why you did these errors. This is one possible analyzing process. So, use your cell phone or MP3 player to practice dictation and you will make a big progress with less efforts and time.
Hey, Janie, how are you?
Oh, hello, Jack. I am good. Where are you going now?
I am going to IDP to enroll for IELTS test. I am planning to go to Canada Memorial University for MBA program. A few days back, I have browsed their website. It's full scholarship program if I have band score 7.5. Do you have any ideas?
Yes, I am going to also same university for MBA and got full scholarship and my band score in IELTS is 8.5.
Oh really? How is your listening score?
It's 9 out of 9.
Congratulations. Give me some tips how I can get my desired score.
Okay, please note key points of listening and top tips for better score. There is no difference in the content, format or level of difficulty and scoring between IELTS general training and academic examination. The listening test remains the same for both the versions. Test duration: 30 minutes. Now listen carefully. What is the IELTS listening test format? You will have to listen to 4 recordings, conversations and monologues, and then answer the questions asked. The recordings are of native English speakers and a variety of accents are used. Remember, you can hear each recording only once. Recording 1. You will listen to a dialogue placed in daily life and context. Recording 2. You will listen to a monologue about everyday life or social context. For instance, a talk on the condition of streets in an area. Recording 3. You will listen to a conversation between more than 2 people placed in a training or educational context. For instance, a teacher discussing an assignment with students. Recording 4. You will listen to a monologue on any academic subject. For instance, a college lecture. Helpful tips for IELTS listening test. Tip number 1. Before the recording begins for any section, do read all the questions carefully. This will help follow the recordings and identify the answers easily. Tip no. 2. Once a section is complete, you can move ahead and read up the questions for the next section. Tip no. 2. At times, there will be a list of options to make a pick from. It is not necessary that the answers will be in the order you hear them. They could also be listed alphabetically. Tip number 3. Do note the word limits for each section. If an instruction says, write no more than 2 words, stick to it. If you write more than the specified limit, you may end up getting no marks for the attempted answer. Tip number 4. Be attentive and look out for the keywords or synonyms, words with same or nearly same meanings as another word, from the question. This can help identify the answer. For instance, if you hear in the recording, she likes going to the gym and playing tennis, It could reflect on your answer sheet, screen, in computer-delivered IELTS, as, she is an active person. Tip number 5. In questions where you have to write down words spelled out in the recording, you need to be well aware of the English alphabets and how they are pronounced. For instance, the alphabet, W, is pronounced as, W. Tip number 6. Listen carefully for words indicating the stage of the recording you are listening to, e.g., firstly, my next point, to sum up. These words help identify which question you have reached. Tip number 7. While listening to a recording, you can keep crossing out the options that do not fit. It makes it easier to find the right option. Tip number 8. If you have to mention dates in any answer, remember there are various correct ways to do so, e.g. April 24, 24 th April and the 24th of April, all are correct. Tip number 9. If you face trouble in answering any question, leave it and move on. Don't waste time on it and end up panicking. If you have time left in the end, come back to it later. Tip number 10. If you are taking IELTS on paper, you are given 10 minutes to transfer your answers from the listening booklet to your answer sheet once the last recording is over. It is best to wait till the recordings end to transfer the responses to the answer sheet, and not in between sections, as you may end up missing some important information about the test's next section. Do note, you do not have an extra 10-minute transfer time in case of IELTS on computer. To be better prepared, you can also download the range of other important official IDP education IELTS preparation tools that we have available for you.
Thanks a lot. I do believe that it will help me.
Most welcome. Oh, by the way, I have to go to meet my college friends. They are waiting for me. See you later. Bye.
Okay, bye. I will call if I need information.